Indians and the Bank County Red Raiders. For the Lady Indians, you have number 14, Becca Lawrence. Number 4, Reagan Norfleet.
Good afternoon, Raider Nation.
Number 8, Destiny.
My name is Brent Johnson. I'm along here with
15,
Carter
Bush.
Griffin. I'm going to have a couple other fellows show
Number
up here
1, Josie
directly
Morris.
to help us out with the broadcast
Number
today.
2,
For Lady
Jess
Raider
Johnson.
softball. Also Shane Bennett, I believe, is going to be
Number
joining me
11,
this evening
Farron
on the mic
Brown.
to call this game.
Number 5,
Key region
Jonathan
matchup
Pierce.
between the Vidalia
Number
Indians
24,
and
Macy
our
Johnson.
Lady Raider
Number
this
13,
afternoon
Chris
on a
Allen.
muggy
Your subs,
overcast
number 7, Pierce. Number 10,
afternoon.
Number
And
16, Frost.
we're going to get things
And
started
for
here
your Bank County Red Raiders,
in just a
number
moment.
22, Fallon Johnson.
Let's listen to the lineups as the Lady Raiders are being
Number
called
25,
out.
Emmy Harper. Number 9, Haley Whitley. Number 4, Abby Lewis. Number 20, Brianna Booth. Number 12, Hannah McQuillan. Number 23, Rachel Paul. Number 3, Marty Clements. Number 24, Mariah Holton. And your subs, number 15, Cameo Snell. Number 11, Mackenzie Wade. Number 5, Alexis Boatwright. Number 19, Shantaria Batten. And number 2, Maggie Turner. Ladies and gentlemen, please
Well, there you
rise
have
for
it,
playing
ladies and
of the
gentlemen.
national anthem.
We're going to rise and pause for the playing of the national anthem, and we'll be back here in just a moment. Well, there you have it, Raider Nation. We're ready to get the first pitch here thrown in just a moment. Again, as our Lady Raiders are, taking on the Vidalia Indians, the Lady Indians from Vidalia, Georgia, Vidalia Comprehensive High School, and a Region 2 AA matchup. The Lady Raiders were defeated by Vidalia in their opening game of the regular season by a score of 7-1. The game was tied going into the fifth inning. It's a very close event. The Lady Raiders were able to put a run on the board, and then in the next two innings, Vidalia just exploded with 7 runs. So I'll get some more stats and records and stuff here more for you here in just a moment. But I definitely want to welcome you here on the NFHS Network, powered by Play on Sports, brought to you by BCTV Production, a portion of the Engineering and Technology Department at Bacon County High School, coordinated by myself. And Brent Johnson. I really appreciate the support I get from Principal Ross New, our Assistant Principal Dr. Darrell Ellis, and maybe even more importantly, our Superintendent, Dr. Lane Rickard. I want to thank her as well. I want to thank the fans of Bacon County, Raider Nation, for supporting us, for purchasing subscriptions and annual passes and those types of things to be able to view as we hopefully provide a really good product for you to view at home and for your family and friends to do so as well. First thing, I definitely want to encourage you to come out to home games to support our young people, but that's what this is for. If you can't make it or something comes up, you can watch this on demand, obviously, later, which is a really cool feature. So we're going to get things off. Started here, Rebecca Lawrence for Vidalia Indians. Fallon Johnson on the mound for the Raiders today, wearing number 22. A little unfamiliar number, but 22. Rachel Polk. All right, Raider Nation, we are back. Apologize for that. This is the second game, or the second game we broadcast this year, and it's the second time in a row we've had to stop the broadcast with something eerily strange happening. All right, we're in the top of the first inning. There's one out, one on, runner at first. And let's give a big old round of applause welcome for Mr. Shane Bennett. He's always joking, never fails. He's I have to watch him up here, but ball gets past the catcher. We got a base runner down to second now. So I got my full crew here for today. Cameron Gibson, Carter Griffin, and Old Faithful Shane Bennett.
Old Faithful.
Or at least old. Shane, how you feeling? Excuse me. It's a little tight up here, ain't it?
Yes, it is. I don't know whether this is where they didn't give equal opportunity to the girls as did the boys. The baseball window being twice the size this softball window is last year. Wasn't quite as bad with that other window we had up here. I do apologize. I was told a 6 o'clock start.
Well, I
And
think the JV ended a little early, and then they're fearful of a little bit of weather maybe potentially coming in about 7:30-ish. Going to get this game going. I apologize for my frog in my throat. Keep hacking here in the microphone. But all right, we got another runner down.
15, Jody Bush.
Number 15, Bush, comes to the plate for Vidalia. So we got 2 on, 1 out. Top of the first.
Vidalia, one of these teams we may not be seeing much of in the future with the reclassifications.
Yeah, that's something we'll talk about as the game goes on. I think most people, Shane, as we'll talk again a little bit more about it later, most people associate with classifications and all this stuff. It seems like it's more involving with football. A lot of people pay that more attention than any of the other sports that are participated by a particular high school, regardless of size or classification.
Yeah, it'll play a big part in softball with some of those folks that we have been playing in the past. Little drooper there, too. Actually, that ball had a little bit more carry than I thought.
Sure did.
Ball's going to get to deep right center and should plate the first run for Vidalia here. Play to the plate. 1 out. Runners at the corner here. The Vidalia Lady Indians.
All right, let me go around the horn here to let you know where, or I'll let Shane do it. I'll clear my throat. Now, he remembers the numbers of the positions on the field anyway. On defense here as this inning continues. 1 run in, so the Lady Raiders are quickly down 1 run with 1 out.
Well, you got Miss Johnson, Phelan Johnson pitching today. Miss Emmy Harper is out at second base. Haley Whitley is down. There we go, quick out back to the pitcher there. Miss Johnson over to first for 2 outs here in the inning. We're still 2 runners on, runners at second and third. Anyway, back to the lineup. Haley Whitley at shortstop, Abby Lewis at first, Brianna Booth down at third, Hannah McClellan out in right field, Rachel Polk behind the plate, and Marley Clements is playing center field, and Mariah Holton left field.
Yeah, that ball just took off off her bat. It looked like a routine fly ball until it just kept carrying.
I thought it was a little blooper, but it's the flag sitting
dead still. And it's like you could slice it with a knife out here. It's the air is heavy and thick. So again, surprising that ball jumped off the bat like it did. Ball's
right back to Miss Johnson again for out number 3 here over to Abby Lewis.
Yeah, there we go. Folks, we're going to take a real quick break, gather ourselves here, and we'll be right back. Lady Raiders trail 1-0 against the foe from Vidalia, the Lady Indians, here in a key Region 2 matchup. We already got one loss to them. Really can't afford another. We'll be back in just a moment.
Now batting number 22, Fallon Johnson.
Fallon Johnson is going to come to the plate to lead the Raiders off. And Fallon's a multi-tool player. She's capable of a slap bunt from that left side of the box there, which gives her a great advantage to beat a throw out at first base. She can swing away with some pop, as we saw a couple games ago. Actually, the one game we did broadcast with a double into right center. And she switch hits, so she can do the same thing from both sides of the ball. Fallon, a new addition to the team. She has been previously homeschooled. She joined Bacon County High School this year. She's going to strike out here for the first out of the inning.
Now batting number 25, Emmy Harper.
Yes, Emmy Harper, junior for the Lady Raiders. Foul back to the screen.
Shane, we were talking in the break. We was going to look up there's some statistics a little bit about our Raiders and where we stand in our region.
Right.
And again, we're sort of behind the 9 ball, I should say, or 8 ball, whichever one it is.
Cue ball,
8 ball, whatever. As we are currently 5th by ourselves in our region, which is something that's not real common for us. We are 4-3 in region play. However, let me check myself there. We're going to be in 4th place, ahead of Long. Max Preps has us. The total win column has got us below Long, but our region record has us above them.
Little bloop there by Emmy for out number 2 here in the inning.
Vidalia is number 1 in our region, and they are 6-0 and 13-0 on the season. So they're the team to beat right now. Jeff Davis is 4-2 in the region. Bryan County is 5-1. And Long County's 2-4. We're 4-3 in the region play with a record of 6-5. And that includes a couple non-region matchups, Coffee County and a couple others that we have played and gotten losses from. We played last Tuesday. Supposed to play Ware yesterday. It was rained out. And then we played Groves High School on Tuesday. Made quick work of that game. About 2.5 innings. We scored 16 runs and got that game out of the way.
And one thing, records, I mean, going in that region tournament, you can go in there undefeated and number 1 team in the region and have a bad day and come out.
That's right.
So
Our girls, we got a young team, Shane. We got 2 seniors on this team, Hannah Mack and Abby Lewis.
Foul back screen here for a 2-2 count now. Nobody on.
Multiple juniors and sophomores on this team, so we're young. Got some kids that are, again, very talented. We just need a little more experience.
I tell you, this Vidalia team is these girls are big girls. I mean, it's tall, athletic-looking girls.
Jen, you got to be careful when you describe women on the ball field. With all due respect, I'm just cutting up with you.
Yeah,
you
exactly
said it right. It was a difficult task, and I'll say real quick a little story. Last year when I was at, we were playing up in Columbus. I was there by myself calling these games, had my crew with me, and Shane was unable to attend. And we played Heard County, and they ended up winning the state championship. And them girls it looked like we was playing a college basketball team. They were. I mean, when I say they were huge, I don't mean that in a derogatory way. They were just big, athletic women, and they played very well. And again, ultimately earned them a state championship. We're going to take a quick break here between innings, and we'll be back in just a moment on the NFHS Network, powered by Play on Sports. All right, we're back here, top of the second inning. The Lady Raiders unable to match or go ahead of the Vidalia innings. Went 3 up and 3 down, trailing 1-0. Again, an important game for us, not so much for Vidalia. Obviously, they want to remain undefeated in the region play, but us losing another game to them was going to make it a little more difficult as we move into the latter stages of the season, Shane.
Yeah, I just shot out there to right field, sorry.
I'll try to get the cameraman going here. We don't have a lot of room to work with. We told you. As the weather cools down, we may end up going outside. It is a little bit cooler in where we're at. We got the air at our back and the warm air coming through the window here.
Yeah, it's just a cramped space up here.
Again, Fallon Johnson on the mound.
With a tailgate crew out there today in center field.
Yeah, they and I won't say much about it.
Oh, just throws it. I mean, just a
routine play. It's just like it stuck to her. She's like wiping her hands, almost like it stuck to her hand.
Little brain freeze there, and don't see that every day out of her.
The tailgating crew got a little slap on their hand first of the week. They were pretty excited out there, saying some things, and not that it was super inappropriate, but I think they were warned a little bit, and they didn't come out yet. Day before yesterday, I think it was Monday, it happened, and they were like suspended for 1 game, and now they're back, which I'm glad to see. I hope they will. Most of them, probably more than half, is young men, and then we got some girls sprinkled out there with them, and we hope that they will behave themselves enough, because we really like to see them. And I know these girls here, our Lady Raiders, really anticipate their support, positive support. Always hit down the line, foul.
Just foul.
Again, Shane, I was able to ride over with Mr. New to watch this game over in Vidalia, and it was tie ball game through about 5 innings. And then we scored a run, and they exploded in 2 innings, scoring 7. Everything we threw up there, they hit. It was really, really crazy.
Well, they look like they have the ability. It's just whether we can subdue them long enough to put some runs on the board. and get out of here with
That's
a victory.
right. Nice routine play there to second base. Miss Harper, she has done a tremendous job at second base. This is the first year she's played infield in quite some time.
Now batting number 14, Becca Lawrence.
2 outs now. Runner down at second base for the Lady Indians. Top half of the second inning. A little movement on that ball.
1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Top of the second. Lady Raiders trail 1-0. Shane, somebody told me there was a pretty big ball game tomorrow night over here at the stadium.
Yeah, here we're playing maybe Pierce County. Yeah, that's who it is.
Oh, yeah. Them old Bears. Not Bears. I hate to even say that with them because that was pretty funny saying about 20 years ago, and I hate to even associate it with them. But, no, it's a love-hate relationship.
I'll say there's no love.
Not quite like the rivalry we have with Jeff Davis, but it's close. But we look forward to the opportunity for them to come back over. We felt like we've had the team to beat them at least 2 out of the last 3 years, and I won't say which one of those years maybe, but we wasn't ready for them. But we were maybe this is the year. We get them at home. We're going to have hopefully a huge crowd come back out like it was a few years ago in Alma at the old stadium, and watch our boys execute and make something special happen. It's a non-region game, so it really doesn't count other than a little pride, maybe a little momentum as the season continues. We did just get a score update. Our JV boys rode over to Pierce County today to play, and they're down 27-0 at half.
Middle school won 6-0 over Long in softball today.
I want to congratulate those ladies. They're 7-0 now in the season, undefeated.
They're headed up by former Bacon County softball Lady Raider.
Wait, I'm sorry, middle school. You said middle school. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
the JV.
Shelby Altman.
I think JV. I'm sorry. They're not undefeated.
Yeah, but JV.
But JV is undefeated. I apologize. I was on the wrong track there. But yes, go ahead, Shane.
Well, I just say Miss Shelby Altman's come back to Alma and doing a great job down there at the middle school.
Shane, I got a great interview with her. She went on the air with me for about 5 or 10 minutes. The only other game I aired, and I got that clip and took it off. I'm just waiting to put it on our news show. Hopefully we'll be able to air it. Folks can listen to it maybe pregame or at halftime tomorrow night at the football game. All right, we're going to have
second walk in the inning now.
We're jitter-chattering along. This softball game is moving along as well. Bases are now loaded with 2 outs, though, fortunately.
Destiny Pine coming to the plate. It's the Lady Indians left fielder. And she looks like you don't want to put one in her wheelhouse.
Again, we have bases loaded. And when I say, Shane, they stung the ball, those last 2 innings over in Vidalia, they stung it. So I know they're capable. It's a good pitch there.
Good pitch there. The low speed.
That inside part of the plate.
I think Miss Pine was expecting that.
I got a feeling Fallon is still a little upset about that miscue at first base, tossing it over the first baseman's head there.
Yeah, because these are 3 unearned runs here on the base path here. Just a little bit high and outside.
Ball is ripped into left field, and it is off the fence.
Should clear the.
That's going to clear the bases for the Indians, and the score is going to be 4-0 with a runner at second. And me and Shane were just talking. These young ladies Oh, that ball was over the plate there where she could get the barrel of the bat on it.
Yeah.
And I've seen them hit, and they're showing it now.
15, Jody Bush.
Showing 3 on the scoreboard. It's actually 4.
Thought basically loaded just in. Thought it was just 2 on. Okay. Bye-bye.
4 spot coming out now, Miss Jody Bush. Lady Indians first baseman. She is clean up. But I'd say
Strike on that outside corner by
Miss
Fallon.
Pine cleaned up the bases right before her.
I'll tell you what, 4-0 quick here. Ball
Right
ripped
back
up the middle. Ball got in quickly by the center fielder.
Miss Marley Clements.
That is.
Another junior out there for the Lady Raiders. 2 on.
Now back
2
to
out.
1, Josie.
Top of the second. Again, this is something that Lady Raiders are not used to in the last few years.
That's
being
right.
In this situation.
That's right. And now, Vidalia, let's give them credit. This has been a fine program for the last several years. They've joined us in Columbus just about every year that we have been a part of it as well, representing Region 2 AA, as well as Jeff Davis. And it's my understanding we were able to well, I'm trying to think about what our record is with Jeff Davis. I want to double check before I say something that
this year?
I don't know. I want to make sure that we have.
Well, this year we're 0-1 to them this year. Lost a heartbreaker over there.
That's it. That's what I was thinking. It was the heartbreaker we lost to them. And Jeff Davis is a little down this year, which I don't know what that says about us. I think we've again, we just need to grow a little bit, maybe emotionally, and just some experience. We got a lot of young girls. This ball's going to be ripped into.
Ball's right in the hole. Gapper there for the.
Yeah, you got to wonder when coach may need to come out and talk to the pitcher, settle down a little bit. Wondering, there's a lot of things that factor into pitches. You got it's placement. These young ladies, different types of pitches that they throw. And there's on cue, here comes coach now. He's going to take a trip to the mound, and as he does that, we're going to take a short break and be back with you here in just a moment on the NFHS Network, powered by Play on Sports, brought to you by BCTV Production. All right, we're back after the meeting of the minds on the mound. 5-0. Indians on second and third, 2 outs. Ball is
right
hit
back to Miss Johnson.
And the quick out to the first base. Nonetheless, 4 runs have scored. And we're going to move to the bottom half of the second inning. The Lady Raiders are going to have to get something going. That's what we struggled with in the other game, Shane. We weren't able to hit the ball, popping up, striking out. We got to, and it's kind of been a theme the majority of this season. So I hope these Lady Raiders can get something going right here. We'll be back here in just a moment. All right, here we go. We want to move to the bottom half of the excuse me,
second inning.
Second inning. Abby Lewis is going to lead us off here.
Now
Almost
batting
feels like
number
we should be in
4,
about the 5th inning.
Abby Lewis.
I know. I tell you, it's with a 5-0 score early.
Miss Abby Lewis, one of 2 seniors on the Lady Raiders. A lot of confidence on this Vidalia team. You see just the air they put off, and I don't mean that in a negative way. Just out there just taking care of business.
Taking care of business. Ball's popped up, and again, this is
right on top of the plate.
Now batting number 20, Brianna Booth.
If you've never noticed Brianna's pre-bat ritual, and I hate to say it, and I don't want to ritualize it, but she is giving thanks.
Just a bit inside and high.
Brianna has a lot of power, and she plays great defense at third base as well. I've seen her make some really good plays.
Squibber back over here to the
off her fist, kind of like Abby got one off her fist and just popped it straight up.
tell from the last year to this year, a little bit more grass growing out there around the tennis courts are done. Remember this time last year they were still trying to finish up the hitting cages down there and the locker rooms down there. So a lot more evidence of things getting finalized around here.
Yeah, once I tell you, Shane, once the grass grows in,
we'll have a lot to cut.
That's correct. Hey, but it's going to be, I tell you, it's just an unbelievable campus, folks. If you haven't been able to swing by, I think a lot of people, probably more than they admit, Shane, on the weekends has come and just kind of cruised around and taken a peek.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Nobody on here for the Lady Raiders here in the bottom half of the second inning. And a key region matchup between the undefeated Vidalia Lady Indians and the Big K Lady Raiders.
Well, the Bears are giving our JV the business over at their home field this afternoon. It was supposed to have been scheduled for here, but due to some weather we had and having to paint the field and get it prepared for tomorrow night's game, we didn't reschedule, but we just relocated the game to Pierce County. 34-0 now as the third quarter resumes. Call strike on Booth. So bring Hannah
Now batting number
McClellan
12, Hannah McClellan.
to the plate with 2 outs. And Shane, our middle school, went over and was given the business by Jeff Davis. And I hate even saying that.
Yeah, I was not going to bring that up.
I'm sorry. Hey, no, it's well, we're here to report the sports.
I did not sign up to report Jeff Davis gave us the business.
Hopefully, neither that middle school game or this JV game today is going to be any insight to what was to come. No, it's
all these programs here in Bacon County have come a long way.
Well, I tell you, Shane, it's because of folks that are maybe watching this live or watching potentially on demand later that support these kids in our community. There can't be any other community that works any harder and provides as much money and time and effort as the folks in our community does for the Bacon County School District.
Yeah, talking to a guy, and I think you and I talked about it, a guy over in Appleton County the other day that came over from their football, the Booster Club, and talking. He was just in awe of the things this community does for these athletes over here and these players. So, I mean, Bacon County being smaller but still putting a lot more out there as far as help and support for these boys. And softball, same way. Basketball coach B coming in here this year and already doing a great job of getting funds together to help his kids out there on the court, working with those kids. We got tennis facilities over here that are second to none. Just a beautiful facility. Again, as Brent was saying earlier, the grass gets in. It's going to be really pretty over there. Baseball field right next to us here. Just the whole complex, the school itself, all of it put together. Just a testimony to the community support and everything that's going on here in Alma.
Well, I tell you mentioned something in a moment. We'll just stay with it here and chat a minute about the basketball program that's coming up. Coach Bergeron. Coach
Bergeron.
Coach B, yeah. But he'll answer to about whatever. Great fella. If you get an opportunity to meet him, I'm real excited. Now, again, appreciate everything Coach Green was able to do, but just like in other sports in the last, maybe 2, 3, 4 years, I had to make a correction there, sorry, on a name. But anyway, getting on Coach B, he is, man, he's excitable. And I'm excited about the season coming up. He's kind of put a charge into these young men and in preparations for this upcoming season. I'm excited to see that. And again, we've had some changes with even, it's only been a year ago that Coach Kofer has been here and his staff. But anyway, we're going to go back here to the top of the third inning. Yeah, I had to remember here. 5-0, Lady Raiders trail. Top of the third.
Not bad. Number 11, Farrow.
Correction on the batter's last name. A concerned mom was wanting to express her opinion about that, and I don't blame her.
Absolutely.
I want my child's name pronounced correctly. Foul back to the screen. So Miss Farrow, the Lady Indian third baseman. Now 1-1 count. Top of the third, nobody out, nobody on. And foul back to the screen. You can get back into the conversation about the
Shane, quick question here. Coach on first base there, is it just my eyes? Is he wearing two different kind of shoes?
Well,
or is
you
one of
say
them taped
that
up?
one. He's got a broke foot.
Got a boot? Is that a boot on?
And I thought I couldn't see.
I figured it was something like that. All right, there's a play.
If you thought that's a shoe style, man, we need to talk.
I told you my eyes aren't good. I had to zoom in on the camera. That's what I figured.
Wow. Just for the record, folks, the shoe on his left foot is about the size of a basketball.
So it's not that big.
Oh, me.
I don't know. Coach Tyre is so superstitious. It wouldn't surprise me if a coach wouldn't wear two different pairs of shoes and that sort of thing.
Well, that's the opposing team, so you got me totally sidetracked. The reclassification we were getting in there.
Yeah, there you go. Or picking up trash on the side of the interstate, something like that. Hey.
It's been a growing process, folks, I can tell you.
It's a lot more funner doing this. More fun than it.
More funner?
More funner.
Went to school, as Carter Lee said in his senior thing in annual, he learned to read and to write R-I-G-H-T in Bacon County.
That's pretty funny. Oh, Carter, he texted me this afternoon.
Now batting on
He asked me if
Mason
you
Johnson.
think Drell will play tonight, and I'll bring that up. Western Kentucky, where Drell Green is scholarship player, Division I school there. They're traveling to Nashville tonight, getting ready for the Commodores. It's opening night of college football, woohoo. And he will potentially have an opportunity to play. I know it's speculated he could be redshirted, but he is currently the backup safety. So there's somebody gets hurt or something, somebody unperforms. It's more common for freshmen to play these days than it is for them not to, for various reasons. But hey, if we get a chance to see number 28 on the sidelines tonight, 8 o'clock, SEC Network, I'm gonna be over there. We're going to record it, number one, and try to watch most of it just to have an opportunity to see that young man possibly participate at Division I level at an SEC school, facing an SEC school.
And, too, they will play LSU later in the year, and he'll get to go to Baton Rouge to be in that big, huge stadium.
Right. Tron Folsom have an opportunity potentially to play this Saturday with Troy as they face NC State, and Tron's going to have an opportunity to go to Wisconsin in a couple weeks, and that's going to be awesome too for that young man. We just pray these kids stay healthy and continue to compete well.
3 balls, 1 strike, 2 out. Nobody on. We're on the bottom half of the Lady Indian lineup right now. Walk the 8 spot here.
Seems like
9 spot, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Number 14,
they've scored, if not all, the majority of their runs with 2 outs.
And that one.
And the majority of them were unearned. I think there's only maybe 1 earned run thus far, maybe 2 earned runs. Those 2 big hits there to the fence.
And against a team like Vidalia, you can't afford to give up any runs, much less unearned runs.
Yeah, and especially
this ball's right down there, and she's safe in there.
That was a nice throw. She just had a little bit better jump. Again, we have been struggling at the plate, especially against some solid pitching.
Good off-speed pitch there. Ryan doing a good job out in the circle. And another Raider Jr. Lady Raider Jr. Lady Raider Jr. Say that quick 3 times. Good job there behind the plate.
Yeah, I failed to call the pitching change between innings. That's Holton is on the mound, replacing Johnson, who goes to center field. Marley goes to left field. That's a good pitch on that outside corner.
Caught the corner there. 2-2 count now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at second. Top half of the 3rd inning.
Ball is hammered to the second baseman.
For out number 3.
No runs scored this inning. Thank goodness. And the Lady Raiders are going to come out here in the bottom half of the 3rd. We're still early, but we're down by 5-0 here on the NFHS Network. All right, Raider Nation, we are back. Bottom of the third inning. Rachel Paul's going to lead us off, catcher for Lady Raiders Junior.
Still 5-0 here, going into the bottom half of this third inning. The Lady Raiders need to start chipping away if they have any hopes of coming back on this team. A little bit outside, gets past the catcher for ball 1.
Again, college football has begun. South Carolina trails North Carolina. I think they kicked us off for the season. Trail 7-0. However, they just picked the ball off in the end zone. South Carolina did. They'll get the ball back on the 20.
Yeah, but North Carolina went back up. They're up 7-0 now. Middle part of the first quarter. Off the forearm of Rachel there. Oh, wait a minute.
Hit her hand.
It looked like her forearm, but
I think it popped kind of loud. I don't know. There wasn't a big fuss there by Rachel. She took
like
off.
It hit her forearm. I know you didn't see it, but it looked like it hit her off her forearm to me. Ooh, swing and a miss there for strike 3.
Yeah, go from a potential
Base
runner to a strikeout.
Now bang, number 3, Marty Clements.
Marty Clements to the plate, now in left field. Swing and a miss.
Swing and a miss there.
I was talking earlier about Darrell having an opportunity. At least he'll be on the sidelines this evening.
Yeah, he was pretty excited. This will be the first time in Darrell's football career that he stood on the sideline for more than 2 plays.
Another update on the JV game, 41-0 now, as the Bears are dropping the hammer.
Little news across the wire. Kurt Schilling is suspended from ESPN for the rest of the year for making comments about Muslims and comparing the Muslims to Nazis. I tell you, it's
Careful, Shane. I'm going to have to suspend you.
Get a political crazy out here.
And strike 3 in a row by the Vidalia Indians. And we're going to head to the top of the 4th inning, still trailing 5-0. Tough to watch. Hopefully the Lady Raiders will come alive here soon, get back in this ball game, and get a potential win in Region 2AA.
Top half of the 4th inning. Lady Indians up 5-0. Lady Raiders still with no hits here now on the top half of the 5th inning. Outside for ball 1.
Now batting number 4, Reagan Norfleet.
Norfleet to the plate for the Indians. This ball is lifted into center field. Fallon gets under the ball, makes the play. 1 out. Again, I want to thank these young men here for joining us.
Number 8, Destiny.
Carter Griffin is producing the show for me here. Senior at Bacon County High School. And I've got Cameron Gibson. I'm kind of breaking him here in the get some camera action here for our softball. Cameron is a junior and participates in the Raider Regiment band. Ball is
right back up the middle. Well, when Vidalia does hit the ball, if it's not hard, it's just a seeing eye single some way they're getting the ball through.
Now batting number 15, Jody Bush.
Bush to the plate. Gonna get a courtesy runner.
Not sure for who, because she's not pitching or catching.
How you cross the run from
That's not a courtesy runner. That would be a pinch
That's
runner.
just a pinch runner.
A pinch runner or a pinch runner, however you choose to say it.
when I first seen it too?
You say pinch, I say pinch.
Pecan, tomato.
It's all the same on the scoreboard.
And it's 5-0. They have 5 hits. Do Vidalia, no hits for the Raiders with 1 error. Count 0-1 here on Bush with 1 out. Top of the 4th. Good pitch on that outside corner. Just talking between the break there, and I may have mentioned it on air a moment ago, Georgia Tech plays tonight, and not that I really care about Tech, but there's a young man that, and I'm not a big fan of Benedictine Military School, but I was able to meet Mr. Brad Stewart, who was really Mr. Everything for them for about 3 to 4 years. Played a receiver on offense, on football, center fielder, baseball, forward, on basketball. This young man received a scholarship and popped up to second baseman, Emmy Harper. She makes the second out.
If you remember, he is our first year playing Benedictine in Savannah.
Mm-hmm.
We had them drive the ball down. He's the guy that ran the ball.
He was on the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
And he threw an interception. He catches it on the 1, runs it 99 all the way back. That kind of.
Ever since then, I've not cared for him.
Well, I got a chance to meet him. We're broadcasting a basketball game when they come over to play us, and I walked over and introduced myself to him. Wanted to congratulate him on his MVP award for the state football championship game, and I just kind of chatted with him a minute, asked him about his plans. And at the time, he didn't have any offers. He was just looking at some things, wasn't sure what sport. And there's an out thrown down by
trying to steal.
Palk. A great play
Rachel
there.
Puts that ball in a basket each time right there.
Yeah, great play there. But Brad was a very respectful young man. Had a great conversation with him, and I wish him the best there at Georgia Tech. He has the opportunity. He will be starting tonight at wide receiver, so may have a chance to get his name in the books. We're going to take a real quick break here between innings. We go to the bottom of the 4th. The Lady Raiders trail 5-0 here on the NFHS Network. All right, after that short break, we're back to the top of the lineup, number 22. Fallon Johnson with her pregame ritual as she drags her bat through the box. And
Now batting, number 22, Fallon Johnson.
maybe get something started here. Infielders,
They've
Shane,
done-
this looks like you're playing some T-ball here.
Yeah, they've done a little
where the infield is.
scouting here. I mean,
Is that?
they know where she's hitting the ball.
This would be one of those times, you kind of fake it, rear back, and whack it. Just like that. But unable to get it past the second baseman as she was, again, playing up near the line they draw for T-ball. 1 out.
Now batting, number 25,
Harper
Emmy Harper.
comes to the plate.
Still Lady Raiders with no hits here in this bottom half of the fourth inning.
This ball is lifted off the hands in the foul territory where the third baseman makes the play for the second out of the inning. Once again, 2 up, 2 down.
Now batting, number 9, Haley Whitley.
Whitley, Taz, that's her nickname. You won't find any better arm throwing that ball from shortstop to first. She's got a rifle. Tall, athletic young lady. She's just a sophomore.
Just missing the outside edge there. 1 ball, 1 strike, sorry. 2 outs.
Ball is, again, popped up. And, Shane, this is exactly, I'm not sure what this young lady, what kind of spin or if that ball is rising or what, but this is exactly what we did in Vidalia. We popped the ball up. May only hit 2 or 3 balls in the outfield. But we're going to take, again, another quick break. That was a quick inning. Headed to the top of the 5th inning. Be back here in just a moment on the NFHS Network, powered by Play On Sports, brought to you more importantly by BCTV Productions.
Now batting, number 1, Josie Morris.
All right, here we go.
Morris to the plate for Vidalia.
Top of the 5th.
Lady Raiders need a 3 up, 3 down inning, just like they have been handed the past several innings. Top of the 5th.
Mariah catching that outside corner. Strike number 1.
All right, out number 1 there.
Now batting, number 13, Kristen Allen.
Allen comes to the plate. Catcher. Got a decent little crowd here representing our Bacon County faithful on a Thursday afternoon. Again, it's kind of gloomy as far as our weather goes. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Swing and a miss. 2-2 the count. Don't miss our broadcast tomorrow night of Red Raider football. As a call strike 3 for 2 outs. We'll have 3 angles to serve you.
Nobody, number 11. Fire.
3 cameras, along with the commentating of the Peavy boys, Brother Travis Peavy and Matt Peavy. And also, I've almost forgot my buddy here beside me, the sideline commentator / reporter / whatever. Done a great job on the sideline the other night. If you have an opportunity to go online now and watch, if you're not a subscriber, you can watch our Red Raiders, as we had a huge win against Lanier County, record-breaking win, 68-12 victory.
Could have been a lot worse.
Can you hear some of that great commentating and sideline reporting by Mr. Shane Bennett? The ball is ripped in the right center.
That's just
Trouble.
out of the reach.
Yeah. Going to get it in quickly, though.
Ooh.
If she lets it, she had to cut it. Might have had an opportunity there. You got to be talking. You know,
Yeah,
you
that's a
tip.
little communication right there.
It's communication, and and this is me from playing baseball. When you're, if you're,
Nobody, number 5.
that's really not a cut, and you almost don't need a cut in softball unless there's a play at the plate. A lot of times that ball was thrown well, and would have made it on the line to second base.
Haley's got to make that call right there.
Yeah, down, or through, whatever they call or how they practice it. That's 6 hits now for the Indians.
Not sure how many seniors this Vidalia team has on it.
Great pitch on that inside corner for call strike 3. Raiders complete 2 innings without allowing any runs. We just got to score some ourselves. So we're going to take a quick break here with them. Be back here in just a moment. Lady Raiders softball. .42-inch.
All right, here we go. Abby Lewis fouled back the screen here. Strike 1 on Abby. It's bottom half of the 5th inning. Lady Raiders still have no hits.
No runs, more importantly, Shane. You actually can score runs without hits, but we got to get something going here quickly. Bottom of the 5th inning. 9 more outs.
Used to watching Little League World Series the last few weeks. These 6-inning games, yet we're going further than that.
Man, what a World Series this was these past few weeks. Talking about Raiders' record-breaking game the other night. They've had multiple record-breaking games throughout that series.
Well, that championship game, especially between Japan and Pennsylvania, with all the home runs and scores.
I mean, 10-2 at one time, and then Japan just comes back,
Oh yeah,
takes care of business. Booth to the plate now for the Lady Raiders. With one out here. Quickly again.
Starting to hear a little noise coming from the Lady Raiders dugout over there. Just got on top of it a little bit too much there.
Ball is lifted out of play. Two outs now. Hannah McClellan back to the plate. Her third at bat. All right, no balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Hannah Mack. Ball high and away. Ball 1. Ball's popped up near the window. Again, glad to have Shane back here with me. We won't always be able to call these games together. I wanted to get a couple key games early in the season. A lot of times we kick in mid and latter part of the season as it
Playoff season.
Playoff season, things get a little more interesting. And not that the season's not, don't get me wrong, but sometimes it's hard to schedule to broadcast these games during the week. I've yet to have a couple kids that, number one, just want to broadcast the games other than behind the camera or produce the show. Or, I like these kids and I trust a lot of them, but, when you're live on the air, you have to be careful or at least be with them. I do want to promote that, and obviously we'll give kids opportunities to do that.
All it takes is one hot mic to ruin a year.
Yeah. Yeah. So, again, during the week, football games, I don't want people to think that that's what we're all about. That's kind of how we got things started. But I've slowly been able to integrate this NFHS network into our entire athletic varsity sports, at least. Been able to do a lot of different things over the last couple of years. And this is our 5th year, Shane, kind of a 5th-year anniversary for us, being with the NFHS Network. And we're proud of that fact. All right, again, Holton on the mound. Three-two count.
She walks her on 5 pitches.
Well, we alluded to it a little bit earlier, but
6 pitches, sorry.
I know I'm like Shane, and Shane's like me when it comes to you talk about football. We've been waiting about 9 months for tonight and college football. And he said earlier, he said, well, I texted him earlier and said, hey, man, how about softball this afternoon? And I'd asked him yesterday, and he said he'd let me know. And I texted him during the day today, and he didn't get back to me for a while. And when he finally got here, he's like, man, it's college football. I mean, come on now. But he loves these Lady Raiders. He loves to support our athletics, and I appreciate him being here with me. We got a big game. I'd like to get back for it as well, but we're going to ride this one out. Hopefully the Raiders can make a comeback here. So we're going to have a pitching change. Abby Lewis is going to come to the mound so we can get home. And again, we want to see if we can get you a glimpse of the dreads of Drell Green, former Bacon County High School standout, playing with the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. We're going to take a short break as Abby warms up, and we get ready to support these Red Raiders as this game continues. All right, we're back. Didn't take long for Abby to warm it up. Have a runner at first. No outs.
Cameo down there on first base, Cameo Snell. With Abby going to the pitching position. Right back to Abby.
Oh, and she's going to be safe with a high
Safe
throw.
on both sides.
Another defensive woe there for the Raiders, unable to get the sure out.
Now by number 4, Reagan Norfleet.
Now nobody out, 2 on.
There's your courtesy run. First, for the pitcher.
All right, first and second. As Shane has said, 5-run deficit. We cannot afford to give up any more.
Starting to rain a little bit here.
Right as the sun popped out. That's kind of ironic. But it's about that time they were fearful of a little bit of some rain, sprinkle or whatnot around 7:30, and it's getting close to that.
Swing and a miss. just outside. 3 balls, 1 strike, nobody out. Runners at first and second for the Lady Indians here in the top half of the 6th inning. Ooh. Takes a hack at that down third base line. Way ahead on that pitch. Oh, she dropped it there.
Bobbling it. Wow.
So we've got ourselves in a jam. Here are 2 errors now in this inning. Bases are now loaded for Lady Indians.
With no outs.
With no outs.
Number 8, Destiny Pine.
And they're bringing Miss Pine up, who last time took a shot off the left field fence.
We have to, I guess we can talk just briefly.
It's 10 after 5.
Is it 10 after 5? I know
Yeah.
it's 15 after 3.
And 10 after 5.
Is there not something after 4?
15.
15 and 3.
3 and 4, and then 10 and 5. Ooh, she does a good job of knocking the ball down.
I tell you, what a great play.
Still,
Oh,
and they get another one and an aggressive base run in there, and it gets Marley coming in from left field trying to slide in behind the runner and make the catch to get her out, but the ball's a little bit high. So they
I tell you that we
played
just
2 there.
We just look a little out of. I just, I don't, lack of a better word, discombobulated. I mean, I don't just out there. It's almost like we're just kind of going through
the
emotion
motions.
and kind of maybe a little unemotional. I don't know what it is. There's something. I know Coach is coming out to check Booth, who made a great play by knocking the ball down and had an opportunity to get the runner out at first. It was just a little bit of a low throw. The first baseman did a good job of digging it. Just couldn't quite come up with the play. She probably would have been better off maybe to have eaten that, knowing what you know now. It would have kept that additional run from scoring. But aggressive base running allows the score to be 7-0 with runners at second and third now, Shane.
And a lot of runs to catch up with, again, especially with Bacon County only now with it's not only now with no hits still going into here.
And we have 6 outs left. And they still have no outs.
This young lady hit a gapper last time, bringing runs in for Lady Indians. Just outside for a 1-1 count now. Just caught the corner. Right back to the pitcher. Abby checks the runner back to third, brings it back over. So
1 out now. Second runners at second and third still, as Abby did, as Shane said, look the batter back, or look the runner back.
Bag number 1, Josie Morris.
Morris to the plate now with 1 out. Shane was just looking here. Michigan plays tonight. Kind of a big game for them as
new head coach
Harbaugh takes over the reins. A lot of high expectations up there in Michigan and in the Big Ten conference with him rejoining. Former quarterback at Michigan, very successful in the college and NFL ranks.
Vidalia just fundamentally playing some great ball.
They are. They really are. Even if Paul could made the catch, the runner would have been safe.
Just the speed of Vidalia and just smart base running. She's not hanging out the bag. She's down the line. She's ready. Your second baseman or second runner on second is halfway down the line. So I mean, just executed to a T right there. 8-0 now. 2 outs. Runner on third, Vidalia. High and outside for ball 2. Almost the same spot there. 3-0 count now.
Tell you what, it hadn't cooled off any since the sun's kind of gone down.
No, there was a couple nights last week or mornings that woke up, almost felt fallish, and
that's changed.
That is long gone.
Well, I don't know about you. I got about, an inch or so more rain.
Yeah, we had actually news yesterday. The eye of the hurricane was right over Bacon County yesterday when we got home.
Yeah, at our house, that rainfall has definitely made it more humid.
Yeah, last Friday night was about as humid as it can get.
What a play
Brianna
by Booth. Let's see if she can make the play at first. Yes, she can. She recovered for the third out again. I said earlier this young lady can hit it a ton, but she plays well at third base. I tell you, it takes a lot of courage to play down that line, especially close. And she did it textbook as she knocks it down and throws the batter out. It is 8-0. I know that's hard to say and hard to hear. With 7 hits, they have 8 runs. And the Lady Raiders are running out of outs to put some runs on the board. But nonetheless, we'll give it an effort here on the NFHS Network, powered by Play On Sports.
Rachel Paul.
All right, Red Raiders need to get a little spark going here. We've still got no hits now. We're in the bottom half of the sixth inning. Rachel Polk up to the bat.
Well, maybe Paul
up
can
to the plate.
maybe Paul can get us out of this slump right here. This is normally a very cheerful young lady. I have her first block, and we always have a good conversation in the hallway. She gets there plenty early before class starts, and we're chatting about softball or something. But
inside there.
I'd like to see her break through and get a hit here for the Lady Raiders.
I know it's in Miss Lawrence's head there. She's got a no-hitter going. She has to have thought about it anyway. Rachel got a 2-1 count now. Nobody out. Bottom half of the sixth inning. Raiders down to 6 outs.
Well, whether she gets a hit or not, I'd like to see her get on base. I tell you, that was a nasty pitch there. This pitcher took something off of it. Speaking of college football, pretty good game going on there. South Carolina and UNC.
Battle of the Carolinas.
UNC leads 13-10 now with almost at halftime. Tell you what, the old ball coach won't be happy to lose his opener.
He's like Jeff Davis. I can't stand him.
I don't think. I think it may be a little down this year in comparison. Here's our base runner, and we hadn't had many. Is she our first base runner?
Nobody,
I think we had one early in the first or second inning, but they've been few and far between.
She's at southpaw. She's bringing up. There's a lot of movement on that ball. It's we're up here looking at it, but she's definitely got our hitters on their heels right now.
Clement's preparing to step in. I mentioned before Marley's older sister, Carly, I think she's finished up her career at South Georgia State College as their starting catcher. A couple years there, and carrying on the family tradition here as a softball player herself, just a junior.
I'm not sure what the umpire, he's gabbing back and forth with the Vidalia coach over there. Not sure with an 8-0 lead with no hits what he's complaining about.
I don't know either, but I think
that was his first walk, and maybe she had, I don't know, maybe we didn't have a base runner, and that was her first runner.
I'm pretty sure he just got warned, though, with the finger point. Because you can't, that's one thing you cannot do as a ball coach is you cannot argue balls and strikes. And that's in any level.
Oh, you can.
But
you may not be around to hear the end of the argument.
That's correct. That would be the first argument to get you tossed out pretty quick, other than a curse word or two. This ball's going to be lifted out of foul.
Back to the swamp.
Yeah, that ball's lost.
Maybe it'll plant itself in the mud and make a softball tree back there. There's no telling how many's already back there.
Yeah, it's kind of like going to the golf course and looking in the woods where Easter eggs might be.
I don't do that. I just get another one out of the bag. Unless I'm over there and I see one, I'll take it out.
Listen now, as cheap as you are, I guarantee you're scouting out the edge of the woods whenever you do make it to the golf course. Because you're cheap.
Absolutely not.
And I am too. But
1-2 count now on Marley.
That's the first errant throw I think I've seen. The first mistake that Vidalia made, and it really didn't matter there. They played a well-of ball game. Give them some credit where credit is due. It's kind of hard to judge. It's just, I think our Lady Raiders are a little down today. It just doesn't appear. I don't know what's going on. We talked about it just a moment ago.
Screen again.
It's a little off, but these Indians are not 12-0 for 12-0 for a reason. So
it's because they hadn't lost any games. That's why they're 12-0.
That makes sense. It's logical.
I thought they were actually 13-0.
Well, I guess I read I can't. You already said I can't see.
Guess you can't hear either. I know you can't hear.
That's my dad. I will pull it back up. They are. I stand corrected. Multiple times. 13-0, 6-0 in region. Foul back.
More like hanging tight up there.
She's on it. She's just, again, I'm not sure what type of pitch she's throwing that is causing all these pop-ups.
It almost looks like a slider. I don't know how you throw a slider under him.
Wow.
She was all over that one.
She was. Thank goodness for the guard fence down there. We'd have lost another one, Shane. Two. Ball outside.
Just outside. Full count now.
Yeah.
Marty's done a good job at this at bat.
She's worked this count. And usually the more pitches a batter can see, typically the advantage goes, kind of tips to the batter, but we'll see right here. The 3-2 pitch comes. And she hits it to the second baseman.
Oh, goodness. I thought shortstop keeps the ball there and hits second. No, she's got a double play easy.
Yeah, that was it got an out, but that was actually almost a mistake there by the shortstop, as she probably should have made the play herself, whether she decided to throw it. A lot of things could have went wrong there with the runner being as close as she was. But nonetheless, they have one out. Raiders have one base runner. Snell to the plate. And if you can tell, she is not shy to the plate. She hugs it.
Some power herself, too.
Yes. Cameo had a walk-off home run earlier in the season. Lady Raiders will be traveling to Jeff Davis Saturday to play in a tournament. They won't face JD, but they'll face some other schools from different regions and different classifications.
Swing and a miss there for strike 3.
2 outs.
Now batting number 22.
Back to the top of the lineup, 22, Fallon Johnson. With 2 outs, 1 on. Again, here we go. You see the infield walk their way in. All but the first baseman.
Right down the middle.
Kind of have to think with 2 outs here, Fallon's going to be swinging away, and not some type of a slap hit.
She can get this in if you want for days.
And she does. Pops
That
it
could
up
be
the
the
shallow.
first hit of the night.
And it does come down. We have a runner at third base with 2 outs. Fallon's at first. And that was no man's land there, just a CNI single there.
Now batting number 25.
Which at this point in time, trailing 8-0, we just want to see some numbers up there on that board, and that's 1 hit, 2 on.
Took a little wind out of the Vidalia pitcher there, giving up her no-hitter. Again, that was not her fault as more as it was a defensive alignment there that gave up that hit.
She's picking the pitches more up now.
And that's the 3rd out of the inning. Lady Raiders get 1 hit, no runs, as we go to the top of the 7th. Trailing 8-0. We'll be back in just a moment. Lady Raider softball. All right, folks. We talked earlier about a possible run rule coming into play here, and it is. It's 8 after 6, and Lady Raiders are going to fall today to Region 2 foe, Vidalia Lady Indians. Shane, again, it's one of them games where it's tough to call because of what we see on the field. We got outplayed today in basically all facets of the game.
Well, and I think, too, you alluded to it earlier, just a little lack of emotion on our girls' part. And maybe they are, we just don't see it up here, but it just like something is they look like they didn't have any fun tonight. Of course, when you're losing 8-0, it's no fun, but it just coming out of the gates, they just didn't look like they were
just loyal.
Not. And those are the things you got to overcome because that happens. It no matter what sport it is, they're gonna happen. You got to kind of fight that and get over that. But still a lot more softball play for these Lady Raiders. Again, region tournament at the end of the year, you can go in there a bottom seed and come out a lot better off. So.
All right, well, we're going to wrap it up here. Lady Raiders softball here on the NFHS Network, powered by Play On Sports, and again, most importantly, brought to you by BCTV Productions. I want to thank Carter Griffin. I want to thank Cameron Gibson and Mr. Shane Bennett for joining me here as we broadcast Lady Raiders softball. Join us tomorrow night for Red Raider football as we host the Pierce County Bears. We somewhat of a rivalry game, although different classifications, a little bit bigger school we're facing, but we feel like we can compete, and we're excited about that opportunity. We want to wish you guys a good evening, and God bless.